Well, I know a lot of people were hoping to see the economy open up sooner rather than later. The announcement that most of these restrictions would not be lifted by May 4th is certainly not a surprise. We've seen the modeling so far, which suggests that in Washington state, we may need to continue this stay-home order much longer, at least through May 18th. But what stuck out to me most was the governor talking about what his plans are moving forward and some hope for at least a few industries out there that there is light at the end of the tunnel here if they can figure out how to resume some of these activities safely. The governor specifically talking about elective surgery and other medical procedures, being able to open those back up as long as they had the appropriate protective equipment. In addition, he talked about more outdoor recreation. We know a lot more people are off work right now. They have more time on their hands, yet the golf courses are still closed. Other recreational activity that typically you could do with some social distancing. That in addition to the construction industry, which we've been hearing from a lot. They want to be able to get back to work and do it in a way that is safe. And the governor saying they are looking at ways to be able to resume activities in industries like that, as long as the modeling suggests in the next couple of days that they can move forward with those plans, Jamie.
And I think about all of the people who are facing unemployment right now. We know that more than 585,000 people in Washington applied for unemployment benefits just last week. You covered it in great detail. We know more people are going to have to do the same. So did the governor really highlight a plan to help people who are facing unemployment?
He didn't specifically address what the state is doing at this point to be able to help those people, but we do know that while there has been so many struggles to get the relief that they need, the programs and the funding is there as long as people can get access to it. But he did talk about down the road making sure that we have secure food storage, making sure our food banks are propped up, and also making sure that people have access to safe housing through all of this, knowing, Jamie, that the result of what's happening right now with the COVID-19 outbreak and with the economic toll it's putting on everyone, that this is something that we're going to be battling for some time.
And Simone, just thinking about business owners, we've talked to a lot of business owners, you and I both, restaurants, retail shops. They say they're already trying to figure out what the new business model is going to look like for them and their business once they're actually allowed to reopen. So what do you think business owners should be taking away from what we just heard the governor say?
Well, the governor said something very specific about this. He said, when we do go back to work, it's going to look very different until we get a vaccine. I can pull up some full screens for you on your screen to take a look at what the governor is looking at in regards to that. In recovery in Washington state, you see that he says we need more testing, more protective equipment, the ability to trace anyone who comes down with the virus and box in those contacts. And then the last there is a vaccine. We can switch to the next full screen. He says until then, most large gatherings are going to be prohibited. The physical distancing will continue. And when industries do open up, they will be opening up with much greater social distancing in place. So business will not look the same until he says we have a vaccine ready to go in our state. Jamie?